Miss Love, what took you so long?
I have to reiterate how stressful this repeated questioning has been for my client. She had to be hospitalized after last night's interrogation.
How are you feeling today, ma'am?
I'll be just fine, as soon as you people stop badgering me.
We are making a good faith effort to cooperate with you.
Now, after Blair Baker's death, did you attempt to reconcile with Matthew Corey?
I think we would have if Courtney hadn't been playing her damsel in distress act.
You thought it was an act?
Don't answer that question.
Oh, I've been around long enough to recognize a feminine wild when I see it.
I'm sorry. I have to object to this line of questioning. It's my opinion that Ms. Love is in no emotional or mental condition to respond cogently.
You told me that this would be over with today.
Yes, I did, Donna.
Miss Love, why did you avoid coming in for questioning? Why did you run away?
I wasn't just running from the police. I was running from my memories. I was running from a life that had become a nightmare, and from people who no longer love me as they should.
I refuse to allow my client to answer any more of these insinuating questions. This is a waste of my time and hers. If you intend to book her, go ahead. But you can't, can you? Because you don't have any eyewitnesses, no material evidence, no fingerprints to link her to these crimes. What you're trying to do is make a scapegoat of a woman who is completely defenseless. You're trying to satisfy the public and the media who are clamoring for a suspect.
Look, Mr.
Well,
Winter...
the party is over, and we're out of here.
Can you have Cass call me when he gets in? His daughter. Thanks.
Hey, Maggie. I've been calling you. Would you mind helping me with the groceries, please?
Where's my father? I need to speak with him.
He's, up to his neck in a case. I wouldn't count on talking to him anytime soon. Now, we have some groceries in the trunk if you wouldn't mind helping me.
Hi there.
Oh, Maggie, darling, good. I'm glad I caught you. Maggie, I don't want you to believe a thing that Cass and Frankie are telling you.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I can just imagine the things they're saying, honey, and I just want you to know that I can explain.
I don't understand. What did Cass and Frankie have to tell me? So, what's this big thing Cass and Frankie are supposed to have told me?
Oh, well... Oh, you mean Frankie's not gloating over there? Because she's responsible, you know, for Felicia, well, giving me the proverbial pink slip.
You got my mother fired from Wallingford's?
Can you imagine? I mean, I couldn't afford this dive as it was. Now I've had to throw myself on that cow of a landlord who's given me 24 hours to get out of here. Maggie, if you care at all about your mother, you'll come right over here. Oh, and darling, bring your credit cards.
Is what Cecile says true?
The truth is, your mother brought this on herself.
How? What happened?
I would really rather not get into that. So, would you please help me with the groceries?
Forget the groceries, Frankie. I think my mother being thrown on the street is just a little more important than Charlie's ice puffs.
She brought this on herself.
Whatever she did, she doesn't deserve to get fired. But you maneuvered this whole thing to get at me, didn't you?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. For crying out loud, Maggie, if I wanted to get back at you, which I don't, I would hardly bother to use Cecile. It's obvious you don't give a damn about her.
I happen to love my mother very much, and I'll prove it.
Yeah, don't hurt yourself. Now help me with the groceries. Oh, and listen, Cass and I will have to speak to you later tonight about something, so make yourself available.
Maxed out, over my credit limit, canceled. Mother?
Oh, good, Maggie. You're here, darling. Where are you going? Back to Europe, actually. An old friend, the Viscount de Portales. He's asked me to summer with him at his estate.
You're actually leaving Bay City?
Well, of course, Maggie. I mean, I have no options left. You know, I have no job, no money, no home. Why does this surprise you?
You've been threatening to skip town ever since you came to Bay City, but somehow you always managed to stick around.
Well, now, there's really nothing to keep me here.
Just me.
Oh, right, Mag. I forgot how much you enjoy my company. Maggie, you and I just... Honey, don't worry about a thing, okay? You're gonna be fine, and you'll be well taken care of wherever you end up or wherever you go.
What do you mean, wherever I go?
I just meant, I know that you've been unhappy living at Cass and Frankie's, and that you've been talking to Rachel and Carl about moving back into the mansion. And that's where you should be, darling. You're too much like me to tolerate suburbia.
Come to think of it, there's nothing keeping me at Bay City either. I have a great idea, Mother. Why don't you take me with you?
What? Oh, Maggie, well, darling, there's nothing I'd like more than to live with you in Europe.
So you've said 1,000,000 times. Now's your chance to prove it.
All right. I don't see why we can't do that. Now, we can't impose on the Viscount, though. And don't even think, Maggie, of using your trust fund to support us.
Mother.
No. I won't even hear of it. Maggie, how much are you making in dividends these days?
What?
I mean, how much do you get monthly?
Not enough to rent you a villa on the Riviera, if that's what you mean. I can't even touch the majority of my inheritance till I'm practically an old maid.
Now, are you sure about, absolutely sure? I mean, you can't dip into it?
It's not a swimming pool, Mother. I have another idea. How about I take this place and tell everyone you're vacationing somewhere and you'll be back any day?
Oh, that's great, darling. It sounds fabulous.
So you'll do that for me? You'll call Cass and Frankie and tell him that I'm old enough to live on my own?
Okay, let's see. That's it. We're all settled. Okay, well, I'm glad you came by, sweetheart. I think we're getting so good at spending quality time with each other. Oh, don't even tell me this.
What is it?
Oh, after everything I've been through. I mean, I can't believe it. I've been robbed. Maggie, do you think, darling, you could lend me whatever cash you have to tide me over until I get on the Viscount's tab? And those credit cards, darling, that I asked you to bring on the phone, I'll pay, of course, whatever bill I happen to run up.
Here you go.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. I knew you'd come through for me. Maggie, where did you get these? Oh, aren't you a clever little girl? Mary Frances will hardly miss these until it's too late.
Look, Mother, can you please write a letter to Cass giving permission for me to live someplace, anyplace else?
Maggie, what are you going on about? Stop this. This is childish, darling. Really. Oh, now don't cry. What are you going to cry? Maggie, if you cry, the mascara will run. It'll be a mess. Stop, darling. It's too embarrassing. Honey, you'll be fine. Just buck up. Actually, Maggie, you know, you're the lucky one. I mean, look, you know, all you have to do is just wait a few years, and without lifting a finger, you come into a wonderful fortune. But me, oh, I'm doomed to earning my daily baguette by batting my eyelashes at some old poop like the Viscount.
I guess I am better off than you if you put it that way.
Yeah. Oh, no, darling, you keep that. It's Belgian lace, you know.
It's lovely.
Just something to remember me by. Thank you.
Maggie, I'm sorry for being such a wretched mother.
can you ever forgive me for having you kidnapped? And for telling you all those horrible lies? What lies? What lies have you told me?
Oh, I was hoping to make a clean break. All right, I really should be the one to tell you this.
Oh, Maggie, I have no time, but I have to tell you something very important before I get on that plane.
This Saturday night is their last chance to make the team and represent America in this summer's Olympic Games in Atlanta. It all happens Saturday at the U.S. Olympic Trials. Then Frasier's Kelsey Grammer salutes Jack Benny in a must-see comedy special with guests Jay Leno, Phil Hartman, and Dan Aykroyd.